Good afternoon. We're here at the TLS, Teaching Language Service Institute. My name is Julian Rodriguez and I'm a student at the University of Quindío.
Good afternoon. My name is John Jairo. I'm from the University of Quindío too. We are here with the professor Juan Manuel. And hello, Juan Manuel.
Hi guys, thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
Thank you for attending us.
We would like to ask you some questions about the role of the teacher.
Okay.
Right, so the first one it says, which role or roles do you perform in your classes?
As a teacher, the role I perform, and especially in this particular academy, is I want to make sure I teach them how to pronounce properly the words. I want to make sure they learn the English language from a different point of view. We try not to focus so much on the grammar, even though that does come, but at the beginning we specialize in conversations. We want them to learn how to speak. It's very important that they start speaking as soon as they become our students.
It's more important to communicate even than writing.
Right.
Or grammar.
Well, it is because as a teacher, unless you speak, I can never tell how much grammar you have, because I cannot read your mind. So if you don't let me know what you know, I can't help you.
Now, the second question is, which method or methods do you apply in your classes and why?
The methods, well, the methodology behind the TLS Academy is 100% conversational. We want to make sure that the students, they keep practice, they keep speaking the language. We do a lot of activities, we do a lot of role playing. We want the students to feel that no matter how bad they pronounce it, that's the purpose of them pronouncing it wrong, so they can actually get it right. So that's pretty much the methodology behind the academy. It's 100% interactive. It's 100% interactive. We don't dictate a class, we participate. We're all part of the class and we're here to help.
As far as I look at micro skills, those are developed within the class, okay? And it's for the teacher to go on with that procedure to make the class enjoyable, all right, productive, and easygoing. It's up to the teacher to have a student participate, interact, and develop a good sense of language. Some people think that by just speaking a language allows them to teach a language. So, yes.
So we have to study how to teach methodologies, roles, strategies, all like that.
Some framework or yeah.
For my PhD, I went to do my research in Alberta, Canada. And we gathered a group of 70 people between the ages of 1-year-old to 68-year-old. And it was a group of Indians, an Indian reserve in Canada, Alberta, Canada. And based on our methodology, the research about thesis, they were speaking English between 5 and 6 months. Right in between all those ages, from 1-year-old to 68-year-old. To show one point, our methodology consists in studying the two hemispheres of the brain and how those two parts of the brain work. Okay, this methodology is called a multi-sensorial methodology. The left side of the brain works very slowly, but why does it work slow? Because it's the more analytical and more organized parts of the brain. Language resides on the left hemisphere of your brain. So all the methodologies that have been designed and have been developed to learn a second language have been designed according to how the left side of your brain works. Organizing, structuring, sequencing, and it takes a long process for a person to learn language.
What about the right hemisphere?
Now let's talk about the right hemisphere of your brain. It is the more active part of the brain. It is very dynamic. It is quick and it's productive. The artistic part of your brain is the right side of the brain. An advantage on how does it work with the language. In the first stages of a baby learning to manage the language, the baby begins working with the right side of the brain in a relation with images and sounds. Okay? Because what the kid learns in a mechanical repetition stimulates the long-term memory. Whatever you learn under that mechanical repetition, you never forget it. Because it's like conditioning. Like Simon Freud said, it's conditioning. I tell my teachers here, and I train my teachers here on how to follow out the methodology and the process of the program. Because most teachers come here just to follow out the same process of the curriculum they've been teaching at schools. So it's not that you're not going to teach the verb to be, it's how you're going to teach the verb to be. Okay? By using, if you don't have audiovisual equipment, you have something that is more valuable, your body language. Your environment. You have to be resourceful on how to apply the methodology using what you have available near you. And the most wonderful thing that you have is your body language. And I go, kids, you look at it, all right, kids. Hearing. Hey. Car key. My car key. Do you have car key?
No.
Do you have a car key?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yes, possible. Okay. It will take a longer process and confusing process when you tell people, look, llave en inglés se dice, come on, don't do that. You're teaching the student how to translate and you are confusing them. You're slowing the process of learning. Do it through images and sounds and it works.
The question about the environment in the classroom, it says in which way has culture affected your performance as a teacher?
Yeah.
Well,
The culture. How do you see the? Let's talk about the relationship between culture and language.
yes, it has a hard impact. One, tell you what, I only contract teachers here with two requisites. The two first requirements that I want from a teacher are, he either has to have a TESOL or a TKT. And the second one, if he or she are not natives, they must have lived in an English-speaking country for at least 10 years. They must have lived the culture. They must have lived the language so that they can transmit it in that same way. Knowing the culture is knowing the language, and vice versa. You can penetrate with both. Every language has popular language, and it doesn't matter which state of society you're in, you are always going to relate to popular language in any moment. So the jive and the slang are the prime part of a language. They can integrate you with the other communities. So
standard.
it's a standard language. It's what we call plain English, plain language. It's very important on how to manage that part in the class. Because if the teacher, besides being a teacher, he has to become a part of the family. This group with TLS teaching is a family. As a matter of fact, TLS is a big family. We have to integrate people. We have to conscientize them that they're becoming a family here. And that we are going to recreate an English environment in which they are going to participate. Small groups are very good. Why? Because the classes tend to be more personal. Besides that, they are going to back up each other. When you have big groups, you have what we call pressure. Okay? And it's
Be much shy.
exactly make people shy. Okay, the biggest obstacle a student, any person has in learning the second language is being afraid. But it's not being afraid of speaking. It's being afraid of making a mistake. I began teaching at regular school, junior high school. And it was in an area in the Bronx, New York, 149 Concord. It was a 49 school, but it was hectic. It was hectic. I mean, I'm not racist, but it was all black children and Puerto Rican Spanish. It was the ghetto. And at that time, I hated being a teacher, but I began to develop patience, and I began to become infatuated with what I was doing, and I started loving it, teaching. Within 2 years, I was transferred to Newtown High School in Queens. It was a good area in Corona, Queens, and it was a better state of society. It was like middle class, so it was more comfortable for me. I could work easier than I was working before, and I became more infatuated with my job. And ever since then, I loved teaching. I love what I do because, in a certain way, it's serving the community. Okay? Being a doctor is serving the community, is serving humans. But being a teacher is the same. So I feel recompensated, and I love it. Right now, English